Meanwhile with Eliza and Officer McShane.
So, your name's Eliza, right?
Yes. That's right.
Can you please tell me more about what happened between you and your parents?
Last week, my mom blew an air horn at me at 5:30 in the morning, gave me a hard-boiled egg as a punishment for being a sleepyhead, and spanked me for calling her crazy.
Wait, you too?
What do you mean you two?
You see, Eliza, the thing is, 4 years ago, your mother blew an air horn at one of her other daughters, Natalie Gavin, at 5:30 in the morning like she did you. Then your mother placed her and her siblings under spanking probation.
Spanking probation? What's a spanking probation?
A totalitarian household rule where your mother spanks whichever child disagrees with her and disobeys her with her right hand.
Crotoon Productions Incorporated, are you saying that my mom's a spank-happy tyrant?
Worse than that actually. She gave Stephanie a punishment day, grounded her for everything she does, played ding-dong ditch with fellow insurgent Diesel Dawson, installed her own operating system onto Eric's computer, threw Terrence out her bedroom window, pushed Elizabeth into the pool, scared Joseph at night, destroyed Olive Garden, grounded animation sensation O2, Whale Eater X, Caillou, Dora Marquez, Clyde Sinclair, Althea Andrea, the childish dad aka Dave Johnson, and Bongo for invalid reasons, acted entitled alongside fellow Punishers Miss Martin and Mrs. Johnson, cheated on Mr. Gavin with your father, hosted a slumber party, met my wife Rachel, grounded the whole world with her, your father and uncles, and fellow Punisher Mrs. Marquez, saluted on Roku-kun the Beyonder, ungrounded Mrs. Edmund and Mrs. Johnson, used rapper logic to make Crotoon Productions Incorporated fat and then turn him into a girl, teamed up with Mr. Glover to make an attempt to brutally assault Stephanie and Little Bill, and teamed up with your father to force Crotoon Productions Incorporated and Crowgirl 22 to stop getting them grounded by breaking into their house and brutally assaulting them.
Wait a second. Rachel McShane's your wife?
Ex-wife actually. I filed Rachel for a divorce after when she and the rest of the Punishers were first arrested 4 years ago. And yes, I know that she escaped again recently, but what ticked me off the most about her was that as she made her escape, she cheated on me with the crazy Italian father.
I pretty much heard that Mrs. McShane escaped and sprung this crazy Italian father free. But I can't believe that she cheated on you the same way my mom cheated on Mr. Gavin.
In all fairness, if your mother hadn't cheated on Mr. Gavin with your father, you wouldn't be here. But you did the right thing by calling the police on them. Otherwise you would have been abused and become a troublemaker.
I guess you have a point. So, anyway, on how to get to either the Anderson or Gavin residence?
Actually, we might be headed towards the Anderson house, so I might as well drop you off there.
Really? What does the house look like?
This is it.
Wow. That's a very colorful house.
This house used to belong to your father before his ex-wife, Doris, filed him for a divorce.
Did that have something to do with my mom's spanking probation and my parents forming the Punishers?
Well, that and also your father's been abusing all 10 of your half-siblings from his side of the family. I mean, it might sound a bit confusing, but Doris can explain it to you better.
Okay. Then let's go inside.
Officer McShane? What are you doing here? And who's that girl right next to you?
Doris, this is gonna sound very shocking, but this little girl right next to me is your ex-husband's newborn daughter.
Wait. So, Boris and Tiyana had a daughter?
Yes, Miss Miller. My name's Eliza. I'm Boris and Tiyana's daughter.
But why'd you bring her here?
Tiyana blew an air horn at her at 5:30 in the morning and spanked her for calling her crazy and refusing to eat a hard-boiled egg last week.
And they grounded me for taking a walk outside the apartment building. Then they threatened to punish me for calling the police on them upon watching the news.
Oh no. That means that Boris repeated the same stuff he did to Caillou.
Caillou got grounded for dumb reasons too? What sort of stuff did he get grounded for?
Let's just talk about this inside.
Meanwhile with the Punishers.
Alright Punishers, listen up. As you're all aware, we've all been hunted down by the police for 4 years ever since we escaped from jail at that time. But now we've called you over for an even more urgent matter that must be addressed.
What exactly is more urgent than running from the police and getting revenge on everyone who testified against us and getting us arrested?
Well, as you all may know, Boris and I...
Wait a second, why all of a sudden are we 2 members short?
Whoops-a-doodle. Sorry I was late, lads and lasses. I just had a bit of a complication.
What? What happened?
Well, Aside from getting arrested by me ex-husband and escaping from the slammer with another inmate, the inmate I sprung free and I actually
What? What did you do?
we fell in love.
Say what? Which inmate did you fall in love with?
Ciao, my friends.
The crazy Italian father?
Hey, you fool. Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy.
Boris, you know this guy?
Don's notorious for punishing his son Luigi for disobeying him because of his strict behavior.
Yeah. And yet my ex-wife, Maria, filed me for a divorce after when he got arrested during Croton Productions Incorporated's Behavior Card Day.
You got divorced too?
Yes, he did.
You know Dan, Tiyana and I can relate to that. Doris filed me for a divorce and Diesel Gavin filed my wife for a divorce, all of which after we got arrested.
Wait. Boris and Tiyana, you two got married?
We did actually, Catherine.
But also, where's Miss Martin?
I'm sorry to have to say this, but Miss Martin abandoned us. She wasn't at all happy about participating at your wedding.
Well, I'm not entirely surprised. I can definitely tell that she and our exes were equally upset about us forcing them to attend our wedding. Her betrayal's not really a big deal.
We'll get back at her eventually. Our wedding was definitely a punishment enough as it is. In the meantime, what's the status of the arm stings?
Unfortunately, my ex-husband let the arm stings get away when he arrested me. Because of him, the arm stings took a plane to the Philippines. I'm sorry everyone. I failed to catch him.
Are you serious? Your ex-husband stopped you from killing the arm stings for infiltrating our gang?
Calm down, Tiyana. The arm stings escape's not entirely bad news. With them gone, your ex-husband's insurgency's outnumbered by 2 members.
What do you mean?
Even though Rachel failed to catch them, she made up for her failure by giving us a new member to replace Miss Martin. Dan, you in or out?
Mamma mia. You're recruiting me. I would most definitely be honored to be a member of the Punishers, Boris.
Actually, Rachel may not be the only one who brought in a new recruit.
You mean there's someone else joining us? Who else got recruited?
That would be me.
Rick Stevens?
You know this man?
Don't know who you are with that mighty fine leather jacket, but my name's Rick Stevens. And Herman told me that there's a woman turning her coat on your club.
That would be Miss Martin. She presumably betrayed us because Boris and I had her attend our wedding as a punishment for using him to abuse Caillou and Rosie and cheating on him.
Well, if there ain't just an active acquitter, but an active cowardice and betrayal. And also, I was initially gonna be Miss Martin's replacement till y'all got introduced to the ladies' new man.
You mean Dan?
The Italian guy dressed in all blue. Yes.
Well, Rachel's affair with Dan's a long story. But anyway, the main reason we called everyone over was because ever since Boris and I got married 4 years ago, we had a baby girl.
A girl? Tiyana, you and Boris gave us a new niece? What's her name?
Eliza.
Anyway, the reason why this is an emergency is because our own daughter called the police on us and saw a news report about us escaping from jail, the wedding, everything, and she ran away and got escorted by Officer McShane to either Boris's old house or mine. So we need to go find her and punish her for snitching on all of us. Understood?
Understood. Understood.
Understood.
Understood.
Understood.
I comprendo.
Understood.
Understood.
Alright then, punishers, suit up.
Meanwhile with Eliza and Caillou.
So Eliza is it? Let me get this straight. You and I share the same dad.
Yeah.
And you and Stephanie share the same abusive mom.
That's also correct.
You know Eliza, Stephanie and I had our differences in the past, but this seems kinda weird knowing that we're siblings-in-law. But I feel really bad knowing our dad grounded you for dumb reasons the same way he did me.
Oh yeah. Your mom actually told me and Officer McShane about that. What sort of stuff did our dad ground you for?
He grounded me for having a nightmare, walking in the house, accidentally spilling orange juice on his laptop, and even waking up.
You accidentally spilled orange juice on our dad's laptop? Wow. Dude, you seriously could have caused an electrical fire from that.
I know that. But I didn't mean to do that. And because of that, I ran away from home hoping to start a new life. But then I ended up almost mugged and passed out in the cold rain. So I got rushed to the hospital.
Wow. You really put yourself in real danger back then.
Yeah, but you're lucky. From what my mom told me, you're an actual survivor. And you actually seemed as smart as I was when I was your age.
I'm actually a really fast learner. And when it comes to fighting, I take after our parents.
Wait, you can fight?
Yeah. After when I got cornered by our dad, I outsmarted him by circling right behind him, punched him multiple times in the butt, and drop-kicked him in the chest.
Crowtune Productions Incorporated, I don't know if I'm hearing this correctly, but, was my new half-sister born with mixed martial arts skills?
It's kind of a long story, Caillou, but her fighting skills were an inheritance from your father and Tiyana. They're both military veterans.
Eliza, is what Crowtune Productions Incorporated saying true?
Now I'll be honest, I was kinda surprised by that story when I interrogated my mom upon calling the police on her and our dad. So really what Crowtune Productions Incorporated said was true.
Okay. I'll admit that I'm impressed by the way you stood up to our dad and your mom, but I think you got a little cocky. Besides, they're probably looking for you. So for your own safety, you need to stay hidden until all the publishers get arrested and sent back to jail.
Is there someplace in this house where I can sleep?
Well, you could sleep right next to me in my room.
You know, Caillou, I may not have had any actual siblings, but you might actually be like a big brother to me. I'd definitely love to sleep next to you in this room.
Well then, I'll go get a mattress for you to sleep right next to me.
This might actually be a better turn for me than that one day last week where I got abused for no reason. My childhood's finally back on track.